applicability, let's compare it with universal validity. There is a difference between validity and applicability. Validity means you get the same result wherever you apply the principle of science. That is why we know principles of science are universally valid. But when we talk about principles of management, these are not universally valid but universally applicable. Means wherever in any organization you can apply them, whether it is having small size, whether it is having any kind of nature, whether it is having profit earning nature or it is providing social services, any kind of organization, it is a hospital, petrol pump, school, college, okay, and production houses. So that kind of organization can apply principles of management. So that is why it is said that the principles of management having the nature which is these principles are universally applicable everywhere. Okay, but we'll have to remember, as per the size of the organization, as per the nature of the organization, the application or we can say applicability of these principles differs. Somewhere some principles are used more and somewhere some principles are used very less or ignored or not applied, but can be applied everywhere. Understood? Okay, so by if you want to see the example, for that I'll have to discuss with some principles of management here. Okay, however we are going to have discussion over the principles of management in the another parts. Okay, but right now if you need to understand the applicability, then I'll have to use some examples of some certain principles. I'm not explaining the meaning of that principle, but I'm using as example. When you come to know the meaning of those principles in other videos, then you can watch this video again so that you can have comprehensive understanding. Okay, so if we talk about universally applicability, I can take the example of principle of discipline. There is one principle of management which is known as discipline. So discipline can be applied in all kind of organization. Fine, nobody can deny that. Okay, now let's move on to another one. Another is general guidelines. Okay, what are the general guidelines? General guidelines, we already know the definition or meaning of principle of management having this term itself there, that these are the general guidelines. General guidelines means these give you general guidelines to solve a particular situations, but we cannot name them specific solutions. We can take one example. In real life business situation, what happens, these are different. Okay, sometimes where these principles work, but specifically they do not give you solution. For example, there is one principle, centralization and decentralization. It means in an organization, some of the authority should be centralized and some of them should be decentralized. But this principle is not applied in all kind of organization. Why? Because if the size of the organization is small, then centralization is successful there. Decentralization is not required at all. And when you are having bigger size in the organization, so decentralization is more suitable. Okay. So what I'm talking about, I'm saying that these provide you the general guidelines, but specific solutions you will have to think after having knowledge from these principles and using your brain. Okay, so that is what the meaning of this. Now let's move on to another feature, that is cause and effect relationship. See what happened, principles of management somewhere insist a manager on establishing cause and effect relationship between the things. I just give you one example of a practical life. If I tell you that learn how to swim, fine. So there are few aspects of that. One aspect, directly I just throw you into the water, into river or swimming pool, and then I just ask you start swimming. And one more aspect, very first I give you some explanation that if you start drowning, then what you need to do, okay, and how you need to cut the waves of the water, how you'll have to throw your hands and legs, okay, and in the emergency situation what you are supposed to do, etc. And these rules, regulation, information have been kept in a book, and before learning swimming you need to know all these things. So if you go through these before jumping into the water, then when you actually jump into the water, then you can take better decisions, right? You can behave better. Understanding what I am trying to say? Similarly, what happens? These principles of management somewhere create a kind of situation for a manager that he has to be able to establish cause and effect relationship. Okay, because these have been developed. If you know and have the information of these, then you understand that what is the cause and what can be the effect of this. However, everywhere the same cause and same result will not come. Okay, but in most cases you need to apply that. So one example of the business organization can be given here, that is stability of personnel. What happens? Every organization wants that its employees should not leave the organization, they should remain satisfied, and for that they have to make some efforts, making efforts like increasing their salary, providing them appreciation and other facilities, etc., and give them career opportunity for promotion and all. Okay, so these kind of things remain an employee happy. So this is what the cause. And if you are making efforts to maintain all this is what the cause. And if the employee is not leaving the organization after getting all this and he is remaining in the organization for the longer period, that is what the result. Okay, so in that way you'll have to establish relationship between cause and effect. Okay, now let's move on. Another feature is formed by practice and experimentation. Like we have discussed, the principles of management have been developed by management thinkers and they have gone through a lot of observation, experience and experimentation. Okay, so just because of that it has been developed. Similar with science, they have thought, they have applied, they have run their particular studies for a longer period in particular businesses, and then they have noticed it and then they have given. So these are having that feature, right? And there are few principles in which you can easily understand that this feature is visible very clearly. Okay, for explaining better I would use the example of one principle, that is scalar chain by Henry Fayol. There is one principle given, scalar chain. So the management thinkers must have seen the positive side of the scalar chain, the positive side of the hierarchy. Okay, that is superior and subordinate, then orders are passed in what manner and in what manner reporting relationship are formed. Okay, and the good impact has been noticed. That's why that principle has been developed. Okay, one more thing I would like to add here, as many examples I am giving to explain you all the features of principles of management. These are not specific examples of those principles. The principles of management, all principles of management having these all features. Okay, and all principles of management can be used as examples for all these. But I am just using one example only which can highlight that feature more. Understanding? And if you are not understanding the meaning of those principles that I am using here, like I use the term stability of personnel, I use the term discipline, I use the term scalar chain, then you will have to wait for the another videos, because this is the another portion of your syllabus that we'll be discussing when we will be discussing principles of management given by Henry Fayol. There are two kind of principles given in your syllabus, one principles by Henry Fayol and another principles by F.W. Taylor. So when we learn all these, then you can re-watch these videos and you can understand it better. Okay, now let's move on to another example. Another feature is flexible. You know, flexible means that you can modify as per the requirement, as per the need, as per the demand. Okay, so all the principles of management are having flexibility in nature. Okay, so like I would like to give example of unity of direction here, one principle. So that unity of direction is not required in every kind of organization. When you are having the size of the organization bigger, only then it is needed. Okay, otherwise you can skip it, you do not need it. Okay, so that is what flexibility, as per the situation you need something, you can make change, you can modify that. So many other examples can be given in that particular situation. Okay, but here that example is being suitable. Now let's move on to another feature. that is mainly behavioral. As we have discussed about the principles of management, these influence the behavior of the manager. Okay, and when a manager applies all principles of management on his workforce, then the behavior of his workforce also start getting influenced or start changing. Okay, so the principles of management having this feature, these are behavioral in nature. Okay, if you apply these things on the electronic gadgets, then you are not going to get any result. But if you apply these principles only on human beings, you may get the results. All right, so these are mainly behavior. And for explaining that, I would like to use one example of one principle, that is initiative. Okay, there is one principle given by Henry Fayol, initiative. So that principle can give you better result only when your employees are interested. Okay, so because human behavior keeps on changing, so that is why the result of these principles may also change. It depends on the human behavior. Fine. Wherever we see if a manager is applying principle of initiative, he gets better result. But if your employees are not interested in giving any kind of suggestion, so that principle will be null and void over there. Okay. Now the last one, contingent. Before understanding it as a feature of management, we need to understand the meaning of this term. The meaning of this term, contingent, is something which is dependent on something which is unpredictable. When few situations happen, then something start happening. All right, okay. Say for example, if your friend calls you up and says that will you be coming in the evening, and you see that this is a rainy weather, then you say to him, I'm not sure. If it rains, I will not come. If it doesn't rain, I will come. So means your going to your friend's home depends on rain, happening on rain. Understanding? Similarly, in business, what happens? Principles of management are having this feature, contingent, because same situations do not happen all the time. Sometimes a manager experiences different and new situations. Okay, and in different and new situation, what will be the most possible solution, that depends on that particular situation. We cannot right now prepare for that. Okay, in different situation, different principles are applied in different ways, and maybe possible some modifications need to be done. So it depends on that point of time, that particular situations. When the situation comes, only then the reaction start happening. Before meeting that actual situation, we can prepare, but we cannot be 100% sure that our strategy, our planning, or particular principle that we have thought is going to be 100% applied there. Understood the point? So here I would like to take one example, principle of division of work. See, this principle of division of work can be applied in any organization, but that is meaningless to use this division of work where all the employees of yours are having some kind of personal skills, personalized skills. Okay, so when they themselves are capable to do everything, you need not apply division of work over there. Understanding? So that is why that the application of that principle is null and void there. So if you see that the particular person is having that personal skill, then you do not apply that. So very first you need to come across to that situation. Okay, so we have to understand these. So this was all about the features of principles of management. Okay, means if we talk about, say for example, I have written here 14 principles of management. Okay, and these 14 principles are having these features. Understood? Or 10 features, 5 features, any feature, or any principle, any rule of the management is having all these features. It can be universally applied, it is a general guideline, it is cause and effect relationship, it is formed by practice and experimentation, it is flexible, it is behavioral, and it is contingent as well. Understanding what I'm trying to say? Fine. So this is all about features or characteristics or nature of principle of management. Now we are moving to another part, that is what? Importance of principles of management.